Here we are, friends, going live, talking about many things spiritual, physical, economic, all of those things you see. Because on this channel, we want to address everything that affects our lives. We've written books, told stories, posted meditations, movement, all kinds of videos, and offered all types of free things to our website to help people be able to develop the inner self, as Earth, Wind, and Fire said, and the outer self. There's a song by Paint a Pretty Smile Each Day, and part of it says that we study all kinds of occult sciences and mysticism and world religions and coming from a hip place, all of those things help to develop an inner self. An outer self we have to deal with. And so while we are trying to work on this inner self, we also need to work on the outer self, and we have to create a world of beauty. They talk about it as being building yourself a true romance with the beauty that surrounds you. But how can we do this if we can't see the beauty that surrounds us? I've been watching the news for the last few days, and all that I can see is ugliness: murders, bombing, killing, strikes on civilians from various countries, people rising up, hollering and shouting in hatred for other people, and still thinking that they are the good ones. This is a problem that all of us need to learn to deal with. And we can't wait for our leaders to learn to deal with it because unfortunately, we are finding that our leaders are as flawed as we are, if not more flawed than we are. So, what the heck are we going to do? We can't just sit there feeling helpless. That doesn't work. It only makes us feel worse. You see, the problem is that we as human beings are going to grow no matter what we do. We can grow in a way that's positive and healthy, that makes us strong and resilient, or we can grow in a way that makes us worse, less powerful, negative, weak, always reaching out in order to prove that we have worth. And when we look at the leadership today in many of the countries, we find leaders who are just doing that, manipulating the crowds of the people, not listening to what the citizens want, calling on the armies and the navies and the air forces and the police forces to bomb, kill, and destroy to show that they have strength when they are actually weak, cowardice individuals who want to see people involved in committing atrocities and want to see people suffering, but who do not have the nerve to do it themselves because of their impotence. What do we do about this? We have to let them go. We're not part of that group and they're not a part of us. So let's stop pretending that they are part of us. It's almost like a cancer, you see. They say that the body often doesn't recognize the cancer cells because the cancer cells have an ability to send out messages that trick the body into thinking that they're healthy cells while they're doing all kinds of damage and creating these big tumors that are stealing all of the nutrition from the healthy cells with the hope of just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and taking over the whole body without caring about the rest of the body, which leads to the death of many people. These people are like the tumors. Stop saying the tumors are who you are. Now, I don't care what person or authority you're involved with, whether it be in a school, whether it be in a church, whether it be a state government, whether it be any collective group. If you are involved in any group where the person is like a cancerous virus who is trying to build up a group of people who are full of hatred, anger, Divorce yourself from them. Use the institution to get whatever you need. Maybe you can meet with a few people who are sincere and caring and help them to grow and move beyond what the institution or that leader is trying to do. Maybe you can do that, but don't give your heart to them. I remember meditating once, and this voice, I call it the voice of the divine, said to me, don't ever give your heart to those people who don't have your best interest at heart. That is something we all need to learn. We can't keep giving up ourselves and destroying our lives so that we fit into a group that hates us. And if there is a group that will reject you as soon as you decide that you don't want to go along or you ask too many questions, that group despises you and has made you into an object, a pawn to be used to carry out the agenda of a sick few at the top. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that the cure for feeling down, feeling oppressed and depressed is developing the power that we have within ourselves and expanding beyond the small confines, the small boxes that we have plugged ourselves into. Sometimes we take part in a group and we give up our own minds, our own wants, and our own desires to stay part of that group. We sell our souls to be in that group, and we find our own identity diminished as we take on the identity of that group. We give up our lives to be part of that group, and we live as part of that group. Whatever that group says makes our lives good or bad. Sometimes we spend our lives looking for such a group. Sometimes we think we found one, and when we are deeply involved, we find that it is rooted in anger and treachery and with the same type of cancerous people at the top. And we have to deal with that. The only problem is that we have given away ourselves to be part of that group. The normal way of acting and behaving is this: we go outside of ourselves and explore the world, and then we come back inside of ourselves. We think, we experience, we process what has happened out there, and then once we get a pretty good view of what's going on and who and what we are, we go back out into the world and we explore, and we keep doing that, going out and back. And as we continue to go out and back, what happens is we are expanding our sense of the world and who we are. We are expanding the intelligence and the power within. But there are those who are so good at psychological manipulation that what they will do is they will make us feel so bad about ourselves, like our culture does about our looks, race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, anything that they can find. Even a beautiful person will be convinced that they're stupid sometimes. They'll do anything that will make it so painful that we will not want to go back inside of ourselves where we find our strength, rest, and relaxation. So we end up going outside of ourselves all of our lives, looking to be esteemed, looking to be accepted, looking to prove how good we are. Well, we have to turn that around, you see. It's the opposite of the way it's supposed to be. We have to learn to spend some time with ourselves, to treat ourselves kindly, and not only to spend time with ourselves, to go deeply inward and explore what's in there. And you know what we will find there most of the time? Archetypes. Archetypes. These are the things that people used to talk about long time ago, the metaphors, the understandings, the images about the very elements of the universe, gods, goddesses, heroes, villains, all of those things, and we may find the archetype that will help heal us. We've been told it's only our imagination, though. We've been told these things don't exist unless they can be proven scientifically in a material world. But in psychology, Jung, Lacan, and many other psychotherapists and psychoanalysts have spoken of these things and proven these things many times. So if you go inside and you find a goddess, a god, some type of higher being, even if they're an ET or something, and it is trying to communicate with you as you meditate or in your dreams, as you're in a state of rest, it is up to you to explore it, to learn about it, to sit in silence, to learn to interact with it, and realize that this thing is as alive as all of us are, because it's a part of the universe revealing itself to you. If you ignore that revelation, you'll never heal the part of yourself that needs to be healed. A lot of the religions today tell us that this is wrong. They have made some of these archetypes into devils and demons and told us not to pay attention to it. They told us they don't exist. We're psychologically damaged. And the reason that they told us this is to keep us in the box that we find ourselves now in, called civilization. The box that is causing you pain, suffering, and a spiritual death. Get out of the box by following the signs that are given to you by all that is, that was, and will be. And when you follow these signs, it will lead you back to total awareness, truth, and life. Paint a pretty smile each day. Loving is a blessing. Never let it fade away. It's all about love. Build yourself a true romance with the beauty that surrounds you. You deserve just one more dance, my dear, my dear. So let the light shine all through your mind. Feel your little heart aglow. Take the time, make up your mind. It's all about love, yeah. That's what it's about. Good to be with you again. Subscribe if you like what you're hearing. Hit the bell. And leave a few comments so that this video will go out to more people. This is a message that we need to send all over the world. And we don't need to have to pay $800 or $900 for weekend workshops for people to get it. Just one subscription, click of the bell and a like and a comment will help you become part of this new group of people, the words of compassion that is working to heal the world. Thanks for being with us. Namaste.